Hi, I'm Kendrick Agapito from the Physics Unit of the Philippine Science High School main campus. Ang init naman. Na-experience nyo na din ba to? Yung papasok kayo sa kotse na nabilad sa araw? Lalo na ngayong summer, sobrang init. Paano ba natin ipapaliwanag to? Well, we need physics to explain this. Specifically, we need to learn about the different modes of heat transfer. Yun ang susubukan nating i-discuss sa video na to. There are three ways to transfer heat: through conduction, through convection, and through radiation. Isa-isahin natin sila sa video na to. And as you watch the video, I want you to try to answer these questions. First, what actually happens in each mode of heat transfer? Next, what is this so-called heat current? And then, what is thermal conductivity? And finally, what is emissivity? Kapag naglagay ka ng mainit na kape sa isang malamig na mug, alam natin na iinit din yung mug. Ibig sabihin, heat travels from the coffee to the mug. And the heat transfer that happens there is called conduction. If you zoom in on the mug, you will see molecules that are slightly jiggling. On the other hand, the molecules of the freshly poured hot coffee are moving very rapidly in random directions. You see, the hotter an object is, the faster its molecules move. Now, dahil magkakatabi lang itong mga coffee molecules at mug molecules, magbubungguan sila. From the principle of conservation of momentum, if a fast object collides head-on with a slower object, then the slower object will end up faster than its original speed, and the faster object will end up slower than its original speed. Since the coffee molecules move faster than the mug molecules, the coffee molecules slow down while the mug molecules speed up as they go through several collisions. That's why the mug becomes hotter and the coffee becomes colder. We use the term heat current to describe how fast heat travels. This equation solves for the heat current through conduction. As you can see, nakadepende ang heat current sa maraming variables. Pero magfo-focus lang tayo dito sa K. Ang tawag dyan ay thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity is a measure of how well a material transfers heat through conduction. For example, the thermal conductivity of wood is around 0.1 watts per meter Kelvin, while the thermal conductivity of metals can reach up to about 400 watts per meter Kelvin. This means heat travels faster in metals than in wood. Ang kotse ay gawa sa iba't ibang klase ng metals, kagaya ng steel at aluminum. Kaya mabilis ma-transfer ang heat mula sa labas ng kotse papunta sa loob. To explain how convection works, imagine a kettle filled with water and placed on a stove. Siyempre, iinit muna yung tubig na pinakamalapit sa apoy. Now, there are two facts that you need to know here. First is that matter expands when it heats up. Ang tawag doon ay thermal expansion. So, mag-e-expand yung tubig sa ilalim, which causes its density to decrease. Second is that objects that are less dense than water float in water. Ang tawag sa property na yon ay buoyancy. Since the density of the hot water is less than the density of the surrounding cold water, the hot water rises. This in turn causes the cold water to be displaced downward. Kabaliktaran naman ang nangyayari kapag nagbubukas tayo ng aircon. May malamig na hangin na nanggagaling sa aircon na napapaligiran ng mainit na hangin. But the physics stays the same. Hot air rises while cold air sinks. The sun itself makes use of another mode of heat transfer, radiation. Through nuclear reactions, the sun emits energy in the form of electromagnetic waves. which is just a fancy word for light. Light from the sun contains energy. Kaya nga siya mainit kapag tumatama sa balat natin. Ito ang equation para sa heat current through radiation. Magfo-focus lang tayo dito sa E. Ang tawag dyan ay emissivity. Emissivity is a measure of how well an object emits radiation. It turns out that it's also a good measure of how well a material absorbs radiation. In other words, a good radiation emitter is also a good radiation absorber. Dark and dull objects have a higher emissivity than light and reflective objects. Ibig sabihin, mas madaling mag-absorb ng radiation ito kaysa dito. Therefore, kapag tinapat mo ang mga objects na to sa araw, mas mabilis iinit ito kaysa dito. Ngayon, maraming dark components sa loob ng isang kotse. Kaya mainit sa loob ng kotse kapag nabibilad sa araw. Yun din yung reason kung bakit mas komportable na magsuot ng puting damit kapag mainit ang panahon. Now that I've explained the different modes of heat transfer, it's time for you to answer these questions. You can write your answer in the comment section para makapag-compare kayo ng mga sagot. See you next time!